Yo, what's going on, guys? Jared here. Today I wanted to talk to you about a new deck I've been messing around with in Genesys format. This is a deck that is very popular in the TCG, Mitsurugi. I know this deck is literally everywhere, and most people are sick of it. In the TCG, including myself, I really wish Haba did not exist, but it does. So, in Genesys, Haba is 0 points, unfortunately. So, we still have to deal with this deck in Genesys, even though Ritual and Prayers are both 60 points apiece, so you can only play one copy of one of them. Which really restricts the deck. So not having, which it's pretty much always going to be Ritual. I don't see a world where you're ever picking Prayers over it. I don't know. I don't know how you have to build a deck. It's probably pretty similar, close to this, if I'm being honest. But besides the point, I'm playing Ritual. But I found a new engine that can use to be able to search Haba much easier, and it's using a very powerful searcher spell card in the deck, which I'm excited to show you. So if you guys enjoy the video, please subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Use the affiliate links down below for any cards or top loaders you are purchasing. It helps the channel a lot. And yeah, let's go ahead and jump into it. Okay, guys, so here is a pure Genesys Mitsurugi deck profile. There's actually a couple ways you can make Mitsurugi in Genesys. This is the way that I am trying right now. There was also an Earth's Arctic list that is floating around. I really wanted to try it, but the Earth's Arctic cards are so bad. And they have like a floodgate, and it's still like so annoying. I would actually prefer to play this, which I'm enjoying right now. So go through the card by card, and I'll explain how it works, the decision making, and etc. etc. So obviously, the standout thing here that is very obvious is the Incantation package. So we have 3 copies of Chalice Slime, 1 Inception, 1 Talismandra, 1 Candle, and 3 copies of Chaotic Elements. I'm also going to tie in the Preparation of Rites with this as well. So the main thing is Chalice Slime. Chalice Slime is a Dark Aqua, level 7, so it is searchable both off Chaotic Elements, because it's a Dark Aqua, or Preparation, because it's level 7 Ritual. Double thing is that Preparation can also add back your Mitsurugi Ritual from the graveyard, even if it's searching the Chalice Slime. So hold these until you have a Mitsurugi Ritual in graveyard, and it's just another way to recur it besides Kusanagi's, which is very nice. Especially in Genesys, a lot of people won't be expecting you to be able to get it back in this way, so it can catch a lot of people off guard. But his actual effect is you can reveal it, discard a card, and special summon an incantation from your deck. And then if you don't ritual summon, you lose 2,500 life points at the end of the turn, which is no big deal. It has another effect on the field where you can send an incantation card from your hand or field, destroy a card on the field. Not that bad. Pretty good effect on the field too if you end up summoning it with the other ritual spell here. But the main thing is the first effect to be able to summon a incantation from your deck. So you can summon either the Candle or the Talismandra. Most of the time, you're going to be summoning Talismandra. This is the quote-unquote brick of the deck. So if you draw this, you cannot search a monster off the Chalice Slime, but you can still get a spell off Candle if you wish. But what you can do is be able to special summon this, and then if this card is special summoned from the deck, you can add any ritual monster from your deck to your hand. This is going to be the Habakiri. Then you can use the Habakiri effect to special summon Saji, and then tribute off the incantation Talismandra. And then you are able to activate Saji to add your ritual, and then you can full Mitsurugi combo from there, essentially for free, right? You got to discard one other card for Chalice Slime. You could also discard itself, and it's completely fine. It's not a big deal. So you don't really lose any value off of it. Only because it doesn't discard for cost. You can reveal it and then discard a card, and then it still resolves properly as normal. So you can just reveal it and discard itself if you don't want this in your hand. So that is just another consistency package that you can use for more copies of Haba. So for 0 points, we have added, or sorry, for 10 points, if we're counting Preparation of Rites, 2, 5, and then 8 cards to be able to search Haba in the pure Mitsu deck, which is huge, because that is not including the 3 Haba itself, which is 11, the 3 Mitsurugi Armasa, which is 14, the pre-preparation of rites, which is up to like 17. So point is, we have a lot of ways to get the Haba now, which is the main thing we're doing. But we are also trying to cheese out our very powerful cards. So just when we go through the deck profile a little bit more, we have 3 copies of Pot of Extravagance just to be able to get our hand value up. Like I said, we're playing Ritual over the Prayers. I actually kind of want to find a world where we can play Prayers, but I don't think it's ever going to be worth it. You probably just want to play Ritual every time. 3 Haba, 3 Murakumo, 3 Futsu. So I don't know if I'm going to keep these ratios, but the logic here is that I want to keep the consistency high enough with the rituals to be able to summon them if I draw a mirror, because if you resolve any ritual summon, you essentially can get the Haba and then keep going from there. So even if you have to go like, you know, first action mirror, tribute of Futsu, summon Murakumo, who cares, right? Like that's also a very strong going second line. You should be completely fine with it. And then, Haba to be able to get Saji to get Ritual, and then you can still just keep playing from there. And I have a Murakumo on board. So it's not like going second, like having all this engine's bad. Mitsurugi is very notably good at going second for a reason. And so more engine, I feel like, in this deck is perfectly fine. We're also playing one copy of the Purification. I'm considering upping this because you can actually do some cool combos with it where you actually discard it off the Chalice Slime because you have a generic discard in this deck now that's very searchable. So you might be able to get away with playing more than one of this and then using the Graveyard effect on your turn 1 to be able to dodge stuff similar to like Prayers, which I think is pretty cool. 3 copies of Aramasa, 1 Saji, 1 Kusanagi. You could probably mess around with these numbers as well. Maybe 2 Aramasa and 2 Sanji is better because this deck is already very consistent. I don't think you need 3 copies of Aramasa. That was kind of more of just a consistency boost, but I'll maybe play 2 for like a long game. But we have 3 Futsu also, so it's completely up to you. But yeah, so the level 4 package I think is very, very nice. I wanted to be able to fit in rank 4s in this deck eventually, but I'll get to that when we get to the extra deck. 3 copies of Magatama. This is good. It's like a worse Prayers, essentially, is how I would compare this. You can dodge stuff with it, pop face-up cards, which is very, very good, and you can Ritual Summon, which comes up a lot, especially because you're playing 9 of Ritual monsters, so the Ritual Summon part of this card comes up very, very much, which is pretty awesome. And this is the only card in the Mitsurugi engine where you can actually tribute any monsters to be able to Ritual Summon. So there has been times where I have a level 4 on the field and one of the incantations on the field, and then I've used those from the field to be able to Ritual Summon a Murakumo from my hand. And again, board looks weak, but you catch your opponent off guard in this way and surprise them with a Murakumo when they don't think you can Ritual Summon, which is pretty cool. So this card is really versatile. I really, really like it. So yeah, 3 copies of Pre-Prep. Again, consistency, engine going second, just a great card. 3 Mirror. This is probably weird to see. Again, going second, slamming, in normal TCG, slamming Ritual into a lot of boards is really terrifying. Slamming any Ritual spell in Mitsurugi is honestly really terrifying because you know who is coming. Murakumo is a powerhouse, so I want maximum ways to be able to summon this. And then lastly, for our non-engine, I have the 3 copies of Dark Lore No More. It just checks so many boards. It really doesn't matter which board it is. Being able to check all the boards in the game are ridiculous, besides like Vanquish Soul specifically. And even then, you can still turn off things like Holly Sue. If they have a Caesar up, you can turn that off. So it's not even like the end of the world. It's probably still trading with something. I will notably say that Vanquish Soul is probably a annoying matchup for this deck because of the trap card making them unprotected from destruction, which is very, very annoying to deal with, to say the least. We have to kind of depend on Murakumo's hand ripping to be able to stop them. Going into the side deck, 3 Droll, 3 Flying, 3 Cosmic, 3 Kaiju. I feel like that's all pretty normal stuff here. Nothing really to explain, especially in Genesys format. Where things get a little bit cooler, 1 copy of Vados. Vados is cool because you can search it off Chaotic Elements, so I don't really feel like I need more than one of this card. But if there's a deck that's really powerful into field spells, you can just use Chaotic Elements to search Vados and then just kind of end on it as an additional hand trap, which is pretty cool. And then I have the Tachyon package. This is searchable through the extra deck, which I'm going to go to now, which is the Draguxion. I do not think that this card should be 0 points. I feel like this card is going to be increased in the next point thing because it's just how much it does. Being able to search on summon and then tag out for a different galaxy in the extra deck is crazy. So yeah, you use this usually to get this special summons out for free, and then you could search this and then use his second effect to be able to summon this, and now this is live on the turn 0. This is notable in other decks. I had this in Jagudi profile as well too, but you can also just splash this into anything that can make rank 8s, right? It's completely free. So we have the Tachyon Dragon. We have 2 copies of Full Armor, 2 copies of Cypher, and 2 copies of Cypher Blade. This in Genesys also being free feels kind of crazy. You can get to go like pop or pop take off one body for free is crazy. I have 1 copy of the Zombie Stein. For anyone who doesn't know what this card does, it's pretty much almost an Omni Negate, very similar to like DDD Siegfried. You target a face-up card on the field to negate it and change it to defense and discard a card. It takes 2 Dark level 8s, so again, you can use the Mitsurugis for this, and then 2 copies of Ding to be able to out essentially anything on the board, or protect your board if you want to, but usually you don't need it for the protection. It's just for the send, because there's some decks can make some really annoying monsters. Stuff like Utopic Draco Future is an example of one that is like very frustrating to deal with. So you can able to trade with it in the least by going into like a Zombie Stein plus a Ding to be able to out it, without needing something like a Kaiju here. So this is the deck. Again, it's really, really annoying to say the least, because this deck is meant to be hit consistency wise, I feel like, and without things like Ash Blossoming or Dominus Impulsing to really hold this deck back or to counter this deck properly, when you have so many ways to still get to Ritual, it just becomes a problem, right? And the Mitsurugi cards themselves are obnoxious to say the least. Being able to tribute and special summon and search, and Futsu sitting on the board without like a proper out is really annoying. And a lot of the times you're ending on Purification and Magtama set with a Murakumo lingering about. It's really, really annoying. Really hard to break, and a lot of the decks just can't do it. And even if they like. Even if they break the initial board, they also have to OTK you, because now, again, your Futsu did Futsu stuff and it got back your Aramasa, it got back Saji, it got back Kusanagi. So on the crackback, you're going to have Mirror or Magatama. You're going to have, one of the cards you added back, probably Ritual. You're going to have another monster in hand. So you have a full another push coming after your opponent try to break your board. Plus, now you're going to have Purification in the graveyard more than likely. So it's just too much. Again, I actually feel like Mitsurugi needs another hit, even though they have essentially banned one of the spells and limited another one. It still feels too strong. Like, it's literally the way the deck works is just too strong. Like, you actually just have to point out, like Ritual. I feel like you just have to point out this card, or point both of them out completely, because it's insane. Like, you shouldn't. I don't know, man. Like, these cards are so good. Like, and this is my overall fear for Genesys format, is the new cards are going to come out and they're going to be so strong that even if you point out like key elements in them, they're just still so good. And that's like a perfect example of this is like K9 too, where K9's numbers are hit pretty drastically, and it's still just a powerhouse of a deck. Just because the power creep of these cards, like resolving a Joko was so terrifying, and a lot of these older decks can't deal with like two bodies simultaneously hitting the field at the same time. Especially, no hand traps in the format as well, makes it a big problem. So it's just one aspect of this format that worries me, to say the least, and I hope that they keep up with it points-wise to be able to maintain some kind of balance in the format. But nevertheless, if you are a Mitsurugi enjoyer, this is definitely a deck for you. Again, keep an eye out for the Earth Arctic version as well for consistency. But I like this, the chaotic elements and the Chalice Slime line to be able to add consistency into the deck. You also can play more incantations if you want to. I know that I'm only playing the 2. I only am playing 2 because if you draw one of them, I wanted it to be live, to be able to summon itself from deck still and get the search if you need to. But you can definitely get away with just playing the 1 Talismandra and be completely fine. And Pot of Extravagance is obviously cuttable. You can switch around your extra deck, and that was the other thing I wanted to mention. Rank 4s. Rank 4s could definitely serve a place in this deck, absolutely. There's been a couple times where I already wanted them. I know with Prayers, it's definitely harder to do, but there has been times where, again, on that crackback, you have a Futsu on the field and you summon a bunch of 4s and you can't do anything with them, and I like to be able to turn those bodies into something of value. So just something to keep in mind if you're deck building this deck. Just any kind of rank 4 would work, any 0-point rank 4 specifically. So again, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any suggestions or anything down below that you want to comment, I would appreciate it. I like looking over the comments and reading them. I do read all of them. I appreciate all your guys' feedback. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Please subscribe if you did. Check out the affiliate links, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.